Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you. Today is the 28th of February, and so February is pretty much done. We got a bonus day tomorrow, which is Leap Day, and we can get into that. But what I wanted to talk about today is YouTube and the algorithm, and I can't seem to beat the algorithm. So stick around. I've got some thoughts on this and what I'm going to do going forward with this channel. So if you all remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on one of my hobbies, and it's building flags, the replica wooden flags. And I start out with a 2x4 or a couple of 2x4s, and I use the table saw to trim them all down, make them 3/4 of an inch wide, and get them all cut to length and stain them up and do all that kind of stuff, glue them together and create flags. And I've shown a couple of the ones that I've done in the past, and I've been pleased with them, and they provide just a little bit of extra income from time to time when I can do a special order or whatever. They can bring in per flag somewhere around 100, 150, maybe $175 per flag that I can put together. Now, it takes quite a lot of hours invested in the work, but you know what? I really enjoy doing the work. I love working with the table saw, with the planer, with the different kinds of stain and paint and stencils and all that. And it's a fun hobby for me. And that's what's going on with that. The bottom line, I think, is when I finished that flag, I was not happy with the way it turned out. And it just didn't glue up right. The colors didn't quite come out right. So I tore the flag apart and run it through the planer a couple of more times to get back down to original wood, and trimmed everything back down and rebuilt the flag, and I think it turned out pretty good. You can see up here, that's nearly the finished product for a friend of mine, actually a very dear friend of mine, that asked for a flag to be able to hang in his den, and that's what I built for him. And it took me twice as long to do it, because you got to kind of start all over again and plane everything down, restain, and put the stencils back on and all that. It's took quite a while, but it was a labor of love, and I really enjoyed doing it. What you also saw in that little clip video, and I'll put it back up here, are the leftover pieces that I put back together and used a couple of different kinds of stencils to do We the People and the Betsy Rock's 1776 type flag with another We the People on the side. Those plaques really look sharp if you can hang them up in the right place in your den, in your living room, in your kitchen, whatever. And they can bring $40 to $50 a piece if you can build them right and they turn out well. And I was very pleased with the way those things turned out. So back to the topic at hand. I watched a video from Wrangler Star, and if you're not familiar with Wrangler Star, you can go check out his YouTube channel. He's been around forever. He's got over 2 million subscribers, and he feels the same way I do, that I can't beat the algorithm. and I tried to work within the algorithm. I did a lot of studying to try to figure out how the algorithm really works, and it all starts with um, a passion. If the YouTube creator has a passion about what it is that he's talking about, what it is that he believes in, and he can portray that passion, then you can get some likes, you can get some viewers, you can pick up new subscribers. And as the algorithm goes, once that hits, there's kind of a circle around the number of hits or the number of views that um, individual video can get. And once it surpasses a certain level, and I'm not sure exactly what that level is, but um, YouTube will um, broadcast it once it goes beyond a certain level. They will broadcast it to a much larger group. And I've had that happen to me a number of times in the past. And most of them have been on political issues. Some of them have been on gardening issues. Some of them have been just what we do around here on a regular basis, canning, planting, gardening, woodworking, all those kinds of things. And I've had videos that have gotten a couple of 100,000 views. Never hit the million view mark, but that's kind of the way it goes. I'm not in this to make a lot of money, but it certainly is um, beneficial when you publish a few YouTube videos and you can earn enough money to say, hey, now I can buy a new microphone, or hey, now I can upgrade my tripod, or pick up a new camera for doing B-rolls and things like that. Well, here's here's what I found. I took a long break from YouTube back last late fall, and because I did, I think a lot of the folks were worried that were regular subscribers, and I got a lot of comments. Hey, is everything okay? Are you doing good? Everything okay at your end? No illnesses or injuries? And so I'd get back to people in the comments and stuff like that, and I'd respond and say everything's fine. I'm just taking a break. And folks really encouraged me. A lot of my subscribers that have been around for years really encouraged me to stick with it, um, gave me a lot of suggestions on publishing videos on a regular basis, doing stuff that could appeal to a certain audience. And because I'm over 70 years old now, that audience generally is the older, more mature kind of folks that do that. So I did a whole series on what I called aging in place, and I've got a series, I think 4 of them, that I did on aging in place and what we can do as we get older, how to protect ourselves, how to protect our property, how to be on the lookout for all kinds of things that can go wrong, how to do that kind of prepping when you're over a certain age where you just don't have the stamina or the strength that you had when you were 25. Um, and that went over okay, all that. So I recommitted right around the 1st of December, recommitted to really putting a lot of effort into doing these videos, and I can't seem to beat the algorithm. I can get a few hundred views, but that's not enough to kick it into the next level of the algorithm where YouTube shares that video with a much broader audience. So the most views that I've gotten in the last 3 months has been 760. Now, I used to be able to get, back in the day, used to be able to get 2 and 3,000 views within 48 hours. And I can't, over a 3-month period, can't seem to break 1,000 views. and that's not good if you're looking to YouTube to provide a little bit of extra income for you. So I wrote down some stats. Since December 1st, I've published 42 videos, and just estimating that it takes about 2 hours to set up, to do the research if it's necessary, to get all set up with the tripods and the cameras and all that kind of stuff, to do the filming, and you may have to do a couple of takes on a given subject here or there, and then you've got to edit it. And I'm using Cyberlink's Power Director for my editing software. It's very simple, straightforward, easy to use. And so from start to finish, I estimated that average time spent per video is about 2 hours per video. And that's all the filming and all the editing and getting it uploaded and answering questions and responding to comments and things like that. So just to say, 2 hours. So that's 84 hours, which is pretty much a regular 2 week work week, I guess, for lack of a better term. And during that period of time, I made $88. That turns out to be $1.05 an hour for each hour that I spent producing, editing, uploading, doing all that videos. So the question is, if you had a gig job and they offered you $1.05 an hour to work, would you? Well, the only reason that I continue to do YouTube videos is because I've got um, a message. I've got some wisdom. I've got some experience that I want to share with folks. I'm not necessarily in it for the money, but it sure is nice to be able to say that I made more than $1 an hour producing YouTube videos. So that's kind of where I am with it right now. What I'm going to be doing going forward is I'm not going to try to beat the algorithm. I'm not going to try to produce content that taps into that or tries to tap into that algorithm where I can get maximum number of views. I'm just going to do what I enjoy doing. And if that's working on my hobby, working on building flags, working with stencils, um, gardening in the garden, doing a little bit of prepping here and there, um, doing maybe a gear review from time to time on things. And speaking of that, I was able to finally pick up some of the Flame King refillable canisters. And believe me, what a difference these things make from a cost perspective. So I guess there's my prepper tip for this particular video is don't bother trying to refill the little Coleman canisters because you can only get them maybe half to 3/8 full. And if you're going to be dependent on them, you don't want a half a can of propane. You want a full can. And the system that Flame King has put together really works well. I filled up um, three of these canisters during the day yesterday. They've got a stand that you can pick up. They've got a special fill nozzle that you hook up to your 20-pound tank, and you can hook this up to it. It's got a bleeder valve in here that you can open up and let this thing fill up. It fills up and automatically lets you know when it hits the 80% mark, which is what they consider safely full. I suppose you could get it a little higher if you wanted to, but it's not worth that extra trouble. And these things work like a charm in my Big Buddy heater, in the Coleman camp stove. They just work great. So um, there's the prepper tip of the week. Get into Flame King and make it pay off for you because refillables are getting awful expensive right now. So jump on it while you can. Get them now while you still can, and just don't bother dealing with those um, Coleman canisters that you can refill because it's a waste of time and money. Anyway, I'm going to stick around for a while. I don't think I'm going to be doing daily YouTube videos any longer. I'll do them when the mood strikes me and I'll put them up. So make sure that you've got that bell notification clicked. So when I put something up, and if you're interested, please um, click on it and watch it and let me know what you think. So whenever you see a video that you like, make sure you give it a thumbs up and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to please subscribe. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.